Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes, get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And in baby steps, I am transitioning into what I've known, right? Coming out of what has been totally unknown for me for the past 3 weeks. Each day offering up experiences that I didn't think, well, was going to be as amazing as they actually were. Today I had a little bit of thrill. I'm being cautious with this word happiness because we don't want to mix the idea that the thrill of it all, the excitement of it all, the anticipation of it all is what it's truly all about in what happiness really is. It is in the experiences, but it's in what we learn in those experiences, right? What we connect with in that experience. Or be able to let ourselves go in a way where we feel safe and comfortable, that we can maybe touch on maybe a little bit of that inside of ourselves, that connection that we have with those other parts of ourselves. And in baby, my deuce little amounts, be able to have a little bit of understanding for yourself. And that's the greatest gift in well, this kind of life that I've chosen to, right, travel down that path with, just in my curiosity and the lack of disinterest after a while, because I am somebody who is all about quantity, not quality, about getting the message out, but not tidying up the edges and cleaning it all up. I'm here right now, but if you saw the desk in front of me, right? So that's the level of where the camera is, right? You go, oh, my Cindy, clean your desk up. Well, it's not too bad, too bad. I got lots of pens and I got little, right? But it's enough to be distracting to somebody who's easily distracted by it and could take away from the life, which it just actually did in this moment, right? Took me away so far that I forgot that even of what we were talking about. But it will come back if it was important. If it wasn't important, then you just let it go, and that's the magnificent part, because that's where we're able, right, we can teach ourselves. I'm online constantly and I'm listening to smart people who have the answers, and it makes it possible for me to have that information now rather than maybe coming across it somewhere down the road. I have that information right now, and a lot of that information I'm taking right now is serving me so well. So it's just saving me a lot of time. It's saving me a lot of grief and frustration of not knowing what it's all about by resonating with information that's readily available to me. That amazing leadership, because there's tons of it out there. And to each one of our goals, that's going to dictate, right? If you love music, your inspiration, your mentorship might come from Beyonce, or might come from right, Katy Perry, or right, it could be from any genre of the kind of music that you like, and the person who ranks the highest in that, and that in that highest, that is supposed to be where our teachers are, right? And unfortunately, sometimes people get there without having anything to offer, because they're not having the experience. They're just having that one focused experience, and they're not expanding outside of that in any way. All right. I got to remember that I am a student in all of that. Not just a student in the inside, but a student on the outside, because I believe that's where, right, I was probably meant to be, right, in those passions and desires and dreams and those imaginations that I had as a child, right? I loved dinosaurs. I always loved the outdoors, right? But it was also an introduction to that, right? By that guardianship. But what if I hadn't gotten that taste? Maybe it would have come across my path. Maybe, right? Maybe, well, maybe in the past few years. And all these amazing trips might not have been so spectacular without that curious interaction with Mother Nature that I had as a child, that was mentored into me by my own guardianship, right? These things impact, but these are lessons that I pick up from smart people who are the experts in those fields, right? I'm just bumbling along, picking up lessons that might work. And if I have a problem, I'll ask, right? Like this problem I have right now, how to get my very first episode of this trip next 2 weeks, or the last 3 weeks, up onto my YouTube channel, because my storage is full and the only option for me is to buy more storage. And I knew it was going to happen eventually, right? But at the same time, I'm coming back from a big holiday. And if I'm going to do this, I want to make sure that I'm set up for the next year for storage, that I don't run into this problem anymore. And also that some of that footage, because I do believe in the uploading of my content, it went backwards from my last video to my first video, and it ran out of storage right at the first couple of videos, first couple of days of my trips. And I'm sure I can, right? I can bypass those, but I don't want to, right? So I've kind of adapted and conquered. Today I woke up and super excited that some of my best days on my trip have reappeared in 2020, because I was using my old phone, and right, possibly my last upload was then, the clock was set to that. And that's where this all my footage went to. So I'm super excited for that. I went backwards last night and this morning to see if I could find any more of it. I haven't yet, but I'm hoping that, making up some space or buying the storage, that's going to release that footage also. But I'm super excited because that was my Lake Superior, and I think it was Osler, right? Provincial Park. Those were really good parks for me on my trip, and I had lots of footage on those ones. So I'm glad they reappeared. I wrote the date down. I know where they're sitting. I'll move that file in the proper place, or maybe I could just reset the time on that at that day of upload. I don't know. We'll look into it later, right? But I did find something else, because I was going to upload a rock shop as my first video in this series, right? Because I'm wrapping my um, my holiday this year, and I always go on to Ontario. I love Ontario, right? Pretty close of making a decision in the area that I'd like to retire in. I'd like to. And if I start moving towards that, well, that momentum's going to build up and it's just going to happen. So I need a little bit of time, make it as spectacular and easy on me, because I like the baby steps and less stressful on me, because things are all planned and sorted and taken care of. I'm not flying off the seat of my pants. I'm making those moves and those changes that will be necessary, doing that research, right? There's lots to do, locations. I got a good, fair idea of the parameter of the area that I want to be living in. Very, very expensive. Cottage country, lake country, small town, smaller city, country, rural. Gotta have the internet. These live shows aren't going anywhere. When I'm 80, 90, 100 years old, you're still gonna find me sitting here in my chair or a chair, right? Having conversations, important conversations. But in any case, I was super excited to have that footage released. Well, it wasn't released, it was always there. It was just in a different year. But if I hadn't made that movement to go and look, I probably wouldn't have found it. And I would have started my series, and my series would have missed those videos too, which were right in the middle of my holiday, my 3 weeks, and yeah, I would have lost a lot of good explorers that I would have liked to have shared with everybody. So, in finding that, I've decided that I am going to do when I went to Queteco Provincial Park. I stopped off at a trail and it was a beautiful walk. So we have a playlist, Walk with Me, Cindy Jean. We're going to upload this video as a regular video and then I'm going to add it to my Walk with Me because that's exactly, it was a walk with me. So if you want to go for a walk, this is going to be the first video in my series, which I haven't named yet, but it's usually pretty simple, right? Ontario Parks 2024. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're getting into it. We'll worry about that when we have to worry about that. In the moment, let's get cracking on getting those files onto the computer ready because I got other things that I'm doing at the same time. I am multitasking. I'm pulling in some extra days this week and some extra hours this week. I'm also going to try and help my sister Tracy, who is in a big, big, stressful move right now. And she's going to need some hand moving and packing and cleaning and whatever else she needs to do. So I've offered myself up for that. And I haven't got timings on that yet. But it's right. That's got to all fit in. And it will, right? We'll just be busy. We'll relax in a couple of weeks once I've settled into the routine of being home. Okay, you guys. Thought I'd talk a little bit about happiness. I was happy about finding that footage. I am happy to be in a home that's all nice and clean and organized for the moment so that I don't have to stress about that. The camping's cleaned up, packed away. All the clothes have been unpacked and right, all sorted out. I did like 7 loads of laundry in the past few days. I've been working on the footage for the first video, right? I'm still working in my mind part on the cards, knowing that, right, we're still in it. What's my good cheers? The 54 powerful words. So we work within those 54 powerful words. And today we had that word, happy. And I am happy, right? Sometimes we work ourselves up into hurry-scurries for no reason and just things just settled in, or pop up and surface or work themselves up. And find that happens more often than not. I think sometimes we are our own worst obstacles. I know in my case, I can be. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. We'll see you on Monday if you want to come and hang out with us on Sunday night. We have Chatters Live. We do it every Sunday. I haven't been back since holidays. You want to hear about my holidays, right? Here's some stories and hang out with me, and I get to hear about what everybody else has been up to. Make sure the nest is all nice and neat and tidy. I know everything was okay because, right, everything's always okay. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer.